We often hear that we were created with a purpose by God. This has become a bit of a cliche statement, to the point that, like other cliche statements, we hear it so much that we stop believing it. This is a lot like the statement, "You can't please everyone." There is great truth in the saying, but due to its overuse, it loses its impact. You were created with a purpose. It's cliche, but it's true. Let the words resound and feel the weight of them. You were created with a purpose. And if you were created, then that means you have a creator. Point number 1. No creation is made without a clear reasoning. As a clockmaker designs his invention, it is made with the intent of telling time. With every tick, the hands move as they were crafted to do so. Or a calculator is invented with a clear purpose of solving math calculations by the simple press of a button. Some may think that they are insignificant or that this just isn't true for them, but consider this promise by Christ. Luke chapter 12 verse 7 says, "Indeed, the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Don't be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows." Who else could possibly know how many hairs are on your head other than the one who created it? So you too, like the clock or the calculator, were created with a purpose. But what is it? Now, point 2. Our creation story tells our purpose. The best place to figure out our purpose is to take a look at the creation story. Embedded within, our purpose is actually stated, though often overlooked. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 says, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness." Genesis 1:28, "And God blessed them, and God said to them, Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it." And here it is. We were made in God's image. This is for a reason, for God desires us to be like Him. This is why all over the world there are people who are searching for God. We know we are to be like Him. We just have to figure out who He is. Part of our purpose is to know and be like God. I'm so thankful that entails being a person of love, grace, mercy, and justice. God says, "Be fruitful, fill the earth, and subdue it." Here's the rest. God desires that we have children. This doesn't mean you have to, and there are plenty of passages that show this. But generally speaking, God does desire that the human race does this. Fill the earth. There's a reason Abraham was commissioned by God to leave his hometown. There is a reason the Tower of Babel was sinful. While this story is loaded, I believe at least in part that one of the reasons it was wrong was that God's people weren't spreading, but instead they stayed in one location. God desires that we make an impact on the entire earth. As Christians, we especially must be willing to fill the earth. Subdue the earth. This is my favorite part of this lesson. We are called to subdue. This is engraved deep within us as humans. We need to rule, conquer, or subdue. When I say this, it almost feels wrong, but that's only because we as humans have twisted and distorted this blessing from God like we do with most other blessings. That's essentially what sin is. When God told Adam to subdue the earth, we know part of that included the animals. Adam named all of the animals. He was also to rule over them. This wasn't as a tyrant, but with love and compassion, as God does for us. Remember, we are to be like Him, made in His image. We see this fleshed out even today. As dolphins and whales are tamed, I think about my dog and how my ruling over him is exactly what he enjoys. Being in my presence makes him so happy, and me as well. We were created this way. It's truly a wonder that a human can subdue such a large creature as an elephant. But should it be? Should it be a wonder? We were created this way. But this concept of subduing goes further. For instance, had Satan already fallen when Adam and Eve were created? Did Adam and Eve know that he was the enemy, or were they surprised? This is all skepticism at this point, but what we can know is that Adam and Eve failed to not only protect the garden, but to subdue the earth. Instead of subduing the earth, or Satan, essentially subdued them. This is a lot to take in, but at this moment we have to end the video. We will learn more on this topic in the next video. Remember, you were created with a purpose. That purpose entails being like God, multiplying, and subduing the earth. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Comment in the section down below if you disagree or agree, or if there's any other video topics you want to hear. I can't wait to get back with you guys. Thanks for watching.